All right, time for a California weather forecast. The main thing we're going to be doing today is looking at that snowstorm that we were first looking at maybe 2 days ago, where National Weather Service was saying we could get they were saying 12 feet of snow. So we're going to see if that's still true in the models. Right now, it's a beautiful day out there. We've almost had a little taste of spring over the last couple days, and especially this last weekend. Sunny skies across California right now, although you can't see that nice snowpack that's building up into the Sierra. There's going to be a lot more snow on the way. Looks like that is the cold front that's expected to move in tomorrow, which is going to be bringing all the snow. So we're going to go into the summaries of NorCal, Southern California, then look at the maps, really break down the timing and totals at this point because we're close enough to the storm where we can actually have a little confidence in what the models are saying. But I just want to get a first glance of what the snow forecast is and if it's still holding up compared to what we saw earlier. And it looks like it is. So through the beginning of March, so towards the start of next week, I'm seeing some big numbers here. 64 inches of snow, 61 inches of snow. I can't do that math in my head, so I'm going to whip out the calculator here real quick. So 61 divided by 12. Yeah, that'd be about 5 feet of snow. So I'm not going to go with what the National Weather Service was saying in that other post we're reading 2 days ago where they said 12 feet, but it is still looking like that 4 to 5 foot forecast is holding up. One thing I do unfortunately notice is with the last model run, it was showing actually a decent amount of snow into the Bay Area and the Central Coast. Looks like that's fallen apart. So maybe this storm's not expected to be as cold as it was before, but that's something we'll just have to figure out as we break into some of the details right here. So already, first thing that I noticed, that orange color right there, I don't even know what that orange color is for. Usually it's, wow, a blizzard warning. Okay, yeah, that's why I didn't know. Usually we just have winter storm warnings up in the Sierra. I have never seen a blizzard warning that widespread in California. You can just see the collection of all sorts of different things we have going on. Looks like that blue would be a winter storm watch. The brown is your wind advisory. The pink is your winter storm warning. And then you can imagine that pink goes all the way through the Sierra, but then on top of that, you have the blizzard warning. So kind of layers them based on order of importance. So, for example, the winter storm warning is on top of the wind advisory because that's more important. But then the blizzard warning is on top, showing that that's the highest level of danger that we have right there. So let's just click on the blizzard warning. That's going to be in effect from 4 a.m. on Thursday to 10 a.m. on Sunday. So that's also what's significant about this storm is it's going to be lasting a long period of time. And it looks like there's the chance for heavy snowfall for a long period of time. So that's why some of the totals are going to be so large. Let's just read through this because this is the most important warning that we're going to see today. Extremely dangerous to impossible travel from blizzard conditions Friday into Saturday morning. So it's still saying Friday is going to be the worst of the days. Total snow accumulations of 5 to 10 feet. So they're still going 10 feet with 1 to 4 feet above 3,000 feet from Thursday through Sunday morning. Minor accumulations down to around 2,000 feet, winds gusting as high as 75 miles per hour or higher. So yeah, it seems like the snow level has increased a little bit since we were looking at the models last. Instead of dropping down to 1,000 feet, it's saying it's going to drop down to 2,000 feet, which is still very low. And then instead of saying up to 12 feet of snow, it is saying up to 10 feet of snow. Winds, I think that's looking higher than what we were looking at 2 days ago. I think 2 days ago it was showing 45 mile per hour winds. Now it's up to 75 mile per hour winds. And not a big surprise we'd have a blizzard warning with that. If you have heavy snow and gusty winds, the combination of those two leads to whiteout conditions. So that's where it's for, when, 4 a.m. Thursday to 10 a.m. Sunday, although it seems like it's really going to be picking up Friday. Extremely dangerous to impossible travel conditions. Road closures, widespread blowing snow will create blizzard conditions. Near zero visibility. Certainly wouldn't want to be driving during this kind of weather. Very strong winds combined with heavy snow could cause extensive tree damage and power outages. So Snow levels, oh, this part's important because it's going to talk about how the cold air fills in, and as the cold air fills in, the snow levels drop down. So snow levels are initially around 5,000 to 6,000 feet, lowering to 4,000 to 5,000 feet Friday, and down to around 2,000 feet by Saturday. Snow rates of 2 to 4 inches per hour at times. That's heavy snow. Blizzard conditions expected Friday into Saturday morning when snowfall is heaviest. Okay, so this is the most significant snowstorm that we've had this season, for sure. Winter storm warning, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's probably pretty repetitive here, but that's going to be 10 p.m. this evening to 10 a.m. Sunday. So they're already starting that as early as this evening. But this is perhaps the most important thing to look at right here. And this has actually been upgraded in terms of impacts. When we're looking at this 2 days ago, Thursday and Saturday were major impacts, and Friday was the only extreme impact day. There's your color scheme there. Orange is moderate, red, major impact, purple, extreme impact. So Thursday is in the red, major impacts. Yeah, we could read this. This is probably the most important graphic that we'll look at, and it's just a perfect timeline of this storm coming through. Moderate AM rain and snow north of I-80. Moderate to heavy PM rain and snow and strong winds gusting 30 to 50 miles per hour. Locally to 60 plus over the Sierra. Snow levels 4,500 to 5,500 feet. And that'll be dropping down on Friday. Moderate to heavy rain. So this is from the Sacramento office. So where you hear rain, that's for the valley. Where you hear snow, that's up in the higher elevations. Heavy to extremely heavy snow. And strong winds gusting 30 to 50. Locally 60 plus over the Sierra. Snow levels 2,000 to 4,000 feet. Oh, they actually are still saying levels down to 1,000 on Saturday. Moderate to heavy rain and snow and strong winds continuing over the Sierra. Snow levels 1,000 to 2,500 feet on Saturday. And then Sunday, that's where we transition into minor impacts. Moderate to AM rain and snow, lingering PM mountain snow showers. Snow levels 1,000 to 1,500 feet. Valley morning lows in the low to mid 30s, frost possible. Dry and cooler, valley morning low temperatures in the low to mid 30s, frost possible. So when I do my short form video, I might just take a screenshot of that, and that will be the main thing that I'm talking about. So it looks like Thursday the storm is picking up, Friday and Saturday is the peak of the storm, and then Sunday and Monday, minor impacts, but we may have some of the accumulated impacts of what happened Thursday through Saturday. So here's your snow forecast, saying extreme impacts, chain controls, road closures, zero visibility, dangerous travel, down trees, snow levels dropping, and that's Thursday through Sunday. Rain, not that much, which isn't a huge surprise. Whenever you have these systems coming down from Alaska, it usually leads to a lot of snow because it's bringing in a lot of cold air, but it's not those systems that tap into the tropical moisture where you have an atmospheric river. That's usually where we get our worst flooding in California. So rain-wise, not expecting this to be a big storm in terms of impacts. The big impacts will be up in the Sierra, where you see the winter storm watch in blue, winter storm warning in pink, and the blizzard warning in red. And they are still going 5 to 10 feet above 5,000 feet, 1 to 4 feet above 3,000 feet. And wind gusts, that's showing up to 65, blizzard conditions Friday through Saturday morning. So maybe in this storm timeline, that extreme impact Saturday is more in the first half of the day. So let's check out the forecast discussion here. Sacramento office has some great graphics. I'd love going to their page. They also usually have good summaries as well. We're just going to read this summary right here. Active pattern returns late week into next weekend, bringing widespread precipitation, extremely heavy mountain snow, with blizzard conditions, strong winds, and low elevation snow accumulations. There it's saying down to 1,500 feet. That might be more recently updated than the graphic was, which said down to 1,000. Following the system, expect near freezing valley temps and AM frost. So following the system, after that cold front's come through, then the cold air filters in behind it. So that's where it's going to get pretty chilly out there. That's what I'm expecting for the Central Coast as well. Speaking of Central Coast, let's just check the forecast discussion. Bay Area and Central Coast don't have any warnings or advisories popping up right now, so I'm probably not going to spend too much time right here. But I am interested in the summary. Cooler and unsettled conditions return for tomorrow into the weekend with rain, gusty winds, and the possibility for high elevation snow. Okay, they're keeping the snow potential in the Bay Area and Central Coast. I like it. Just the models didn't look as good as they did 2 days ago. Cold temperatures linger into early next week with frost and freezing temperatures possible on Sunday and Monday mornings. Wow, freezing temperatures possible on Sunday and Monday mornings. So if we were still getting a little precipitation on Sunday, then that is where you could get some snow. And then down in Southern California, it says light to moderate rain Thursday through Sunday. Minimal impacts expected. So that's good news. Looks like we have a high surf advisory down there. So once again, not going to spend too much time on this one. I want to spend most of the time in the Sierra today. Light, this is from the LA office. Light offshore flow will bring warmer temperatures to the area today. Yeah, it's beautiful out there right now. I should be outside. If I rush through this video, it's because I have plans to go hiking. A cooling trend will begin Thursday, and a cold storm system will move into Southern California Friday and Saturday. So it's a day later because the storm is moving from north to south. With periods of rain and mountain snow expected, dry and cool weather is expected Sunday and Monday. All right, so we've got a good idea of what's going on. Let's just take another look at our hazards map. That's going to be your high wind warning down there. I think that's the only one I hadn't talked about yet, but key one is that red, which is your blizzard warning, which is covering a large portion of the Sierra. So now let's look at the timing on this. Let's break down timing for NorCal, especially when the snow is going to begin. So right there, that's today. It's beautiful out there at the moment. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If you're up in the Sierra, maybe doing some preparations for the storm. I haven't spent too much time in the mountains and in snow, so I'm not exactly sure what some of those preparations would be, but today would be the day to do it because Thursday through Saturday, there's a lot coming. So that's 1 a.m. Thursday. Already starting to see some of the rain show up on the coast. Starts to spread out early Thursday. So the reason I paused right there is that's a little bit earlier than original models were showing. So the storm is kind of shifted forward a little bit. That's 7 a.m. on Thursday, and we're already seeing widespread rain throughout Northern California, even some portions of heavy rain where you see the yellow, and then some snow already starting to build in. And what's significant here is, watch, this is 7 a.m. on Thursday. We see the snow begin more up in the northeastern portions of the state. And then as I click through here, watch how long that blue continues in the Sierra. That is still going. We're on Sunday at 1 a.m., Sunday at 10 a.m., Sunday at 10 p.m., and it's still there. And then Monday at 4 a.m. is when it finally looks like it's gone. And there were some portions in here, if you're paying attention, where it is very heavy snowfall. So the heavy snow looks to begin even as early as Thursday afternoon. So even if I'm talking so much about Friday and Saturday being the extreme impact days, remember that Thursday is still in the major impacts days, which Thursday will already be one of maybe the most extreme snow conditions we've had up in the mountains this season. And then Friday and Saturday are just going to be even more than that. So that's still Thursday into Thursday evening, already seeing heavy snowfall. But then you'll see where it really starts to pick up. That's Friday at 4 p.m. There's just a widespread area where it's dark blue. It does get a bit more widespread because the cold air starts filling down. And then 10 p.m. on Friday, where you see that purple come in, that's about the heaviest snow rates you're ever going to see on these maps. And that continues into early Saturday morning. So it makes sense that they've extended that extreme impacts into Saturday as well. Southern Sierra, it's going down into, so 4 a.m. Saturday, that very heavy snowfall is down in the Southern Sierra, but still seeing heavy snow all the way through 4 p.m. on Saturday. That's 7 p.m. on Saturday. And then a little bit lighter, but still coming down throughout the day Sunday. So that is quite a system. I would say that even looks a little stronger than what some of the previous models have looked like. So let's check out rain totals. I don't think this is going to be too impactful, but when we click through, we'll just go all the way through the storm. That's actually trended up a little bit. San Francisco 1.6, Santa Rosa 2.8. Where it's trended up especially is in this northwestern portion of the state where there were some periods of heavy rainfall. Eureka 5.5 inches, same for Fort Bragg. Chico 1.3, Sacramento about an inch. So that's not the kind of rainfall that's going to lead to huge swelling on our creeks and rivers and lead to widespread flooding or anything like that. So I'd say mostly beneficial rainfall. Up in the Sierra, there's going to be some hazards as it's coming in, but then it'll be beneficial once we get through the storm because we're still below average in terms of the snowpack right now. I can actually pull that up, see what we're at. So after this storm, I'll be interested to see if we're just right back to average conditions because once this fills in, Northern Sierra is at 92%, Central Sierra is at 77%, and Southern Sierra is at 76%, with the state being at 80%. So that's actually in a little worse of a position than we were in a week ago. Maybe all that warm weather was during a time when we could have been picking up some snow. So we went from, last I had looked at this, we were at 86% of normal on our snowpack. Now we're down to 80%. But I'll be interested to see how much these numbers are improved just from this one storm coming in. That'll be interesting. So just keep in mind those numbers right there. If you can only remember one number, remember across the state we're 80% of normal on our snowpack. So we looked at the rain totals. Now let's check out the NorCal snow totals. This is going to be similar to the map that we were looking at originally. Oh, you got a little sneak peek. It always does that when I click on it. It goes to like a week in advance. So already starting, yeah, we could break it down day by day. Could be kind of cool to do that. So by Thursday night, you're already seeing the purple, which is more than 1 to 2 feet. And then if we go to by Friday night, that's where we have the orange, which is more than 3, maybe even more than 4 feet in some places. And then by Saturday night, that's where you have almost that palish color, which would be more than 50 inches. So pushing into 5 feet or more. And then continues throughout the day Sunday, although it seems like the majority of it is going to be falling Friday and then into even into late Saturday as well. It still looked like there was some heavy snowfall out there. So that is probably the map of the day right there, where you can see how widespread the snow is and also just how big the levels are. Your color bar is on the bottom there. So anywhere where that blue is, that's going to be more than 2 to 4 inches. Anywhere where you see the purple, that's going to be more than a foot. And then anywhere you see the orange, that's going to be more than 3 to 4 feet. And in some cases, as the National Weather Service was saying, 5 to 10 feet. And I'd imagine the 10 is up in the very higher elevations. But we're also going to be combining this again with some very windy conditions. So that's why there's a widespread blizzard warning. I just want to check out these winds as they come in. Nice and calm winds right now. Let's just click a random spot in the Sierra. Keep an eye on that. So the system comes in. Start to see those winds increase. That's Thursday at 1 p.m. Got some 45 mile per hour gusts, maybe some 50 mile per hour gusts. And then looks like it picks back up again Friday afternoon. That's some widespread areas getting those 40 mile per hour gusts. Up to 56 as we get into Friday night. And then 60 mile per hour gusts. That's early Saturday morning. I'm glad that we did this because it looks like Friday night into early Saturday morning, it's going to be a combination of very heavy snow and very windy conditions. So good call by the National Weather Service to put the blizzard warning. Still 60 mile per hour gusts through 7 a.m. on Saturday. And it's sticking around for quite some time. So that's maybe something that's significant about this system. Look at that. That's into 1 a.m. on Sunday, and we still have 50 to even 66 mile per hour gusts up in the Sierra. So what's significant about this is it's not a quick mover. It looks like we're going to have heavy snow and gusty winds for a long period of time, almost all through Friday and Saturday. So extreme impacts expected there, especially up in the Sierra. So we'll just quickly go down to SoCal, just because it's going to be minimal impacts down there. Start to see some rain show up on the Central Coast throughout the day Thursday. It looks like it's mostly light, though. It's in the green. You're not seeing that much yellow. Los Angeles getting some throughout the day Friday into Saturday as well. Yeah, it's still mostly moderate rainfall. Yeah, I don't think we need to spend more time on that. And then, in terms of total precipitation, we'll just click all the way through here. That's through the system. Salinas, 1.5 inches. We've seen a lot more than that this year. 1.2 in Los Angeles, 0.2 for San Diego. So that's trended down. A couple of days ago, I was saying 0.5. So yeah, either way, not really much going on there. And then winter weather, let's check out total snowfall. And you see the southern Sierra start to light up with some orange. And then a couple of the southern California mountains getting more than 4 to 8 inches, maybe over a foot in the very higher elevations. Now, one thing that we didn't do yet that I do want to check out is I want to look at the temperatures. So this is going to be the southwest. Let's go surface and 2-meter temperature anomaly. So what are our temperatures going to be compared to average? Pretty mild out there today, even 10 degrees above average today. I got to get outside. And then you'll start to see this blue fill in as we get into Thursday, into Friday, and then into Saturday as well. Right? Yeah. That's now on Sunday. This kind of goes along with what we were seeing throughout this video, that the snow levels aren't dropping as low as it was forecasted 2 days ago. 2 days ago, it was basically saying all of California was going to be about 20 degrees below average. Now it looks like it's eased up a bit on that forecast, but it's still significant, especially up in the Sierra. I'm still seeing 18 degrees below average, 18 degrees below average, 10 degrees below average throughout much of the Central Valley. And yeah, so it makes sense that we're going to have very snowy conditions, especially up in Northern California, and that the snow levels are going to be dropping down. That's still some of the coolest weather in terms of comparison to average that we've seen this entire season. 10 to 20 degrees below average. So makes sense why the snow is going to be as widespread as it is. Let's see if we can see how cold Tahoe is going to get. That could be kind of interesting. Let's go South Lake Tahoe. This will pop up right here. Wow, you can see that pink color is the winds picking up. So I'm glad that we did this. It looks like Thursday at 7 a.m., you're already seeing 45 mile per hour gusts, and then it stays in the pink, which is more than 45 mile per hour gusts, almost all the way into 4 a.m. on Monday. So that's a long period of time where we have very windy conditions. Again, this is looking at South Lake Tahoe. Then let's also look at some of these temperatures. Drops down to right around freezing, 10 p.m. Wednesday night into Thursday morning. And then it looks like it stays below freezing from 1 p.m. on Thursday all the way, as far out as this forecast goes, we are not going above freezing. So especially Sunday 1 a.m. and 4 a.m., it's 16 degrees up in Lake Tahoe. But what's key is that even during the afternoon hours, we're not above freezing, which is why it's just going to continue to fall as snow throughout the entire course of this storm. And why the snow levels are dropping so low. So, yeah, glad that we looked right there. Definitely going to be cold up in the mountains. Maybe 3 straight days of nothing but below freezing temperatures. So let's just go back to this map right here. I think this is the most important one that we've seen. Snow building in more than 5 feet. It looks like it's going to be major impacts on Friday, then extreme impacts on major impacts on Thursday, then extreme impacts on Friday and Saturday, minor impacts Sunday, Monday. But the maybe most important part of the forecast is the blizzard conditions that are expected Friday through Saturday morning. That's going to be the peak of this storm, where we're going to combine very heavy snowfall with very gusty winds as well. So I certainly wouldn't want to be driving anytime up in the mountains Friday through Saturday morning, or maybe even throughout the entire day Saturday, because we're going to just continue to pile up snow. A lot of road closures going on. I'll do more forecasts about this system over the next couple of days, so hopefully this video was helpful. I'll also do a short form video right now where we'll kind of break down just some of the most important things that we've covered in a more concise format. So you can stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.